I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Stacy.
And we are
Pilates Before Pickup. The new merch.
We're freaking out.
Shout out first off to the Marblehead Sports Shop, the real heroes. Shout out
Watch
Maggie.
out. Shout out Maggie. Photos by Maggie. You helped us design these sweatshirts.
Go girl. If you need any custom printing, go to the Marblehead Sports Shop off of Atlantic. They know what to do, and they'll hook you up. Let's get right into it. Let's
get
fuel
into
up
it.
on
This
our
one's
coffee.
a crazy topic. Cheers.
Cheers.
Stoke, right? Stoke or Stokey?
Stoke.
You know who you are. Okay, this one's a big topic, and we've wanted to get into this for a while. We're talking all things mom guilt and how that shows up and kind of rears its ugly head in all different facets of life. You know, for me, it's like thinking about mom guilt now as it stands versus like the mom guilt that our parents experienced or our moms experienced and how that's changed so much. An obvious place that kind of like comes in now that our moms didn't have is things like social media, mom groups,
The comparison
spiral. It's like even in that mom group where like I delivered at Beverly and they literally put you in a mom group with people that you know, or that you don't know but that had babies around the same time, and it's like already you're kind of like in that shame spiral at like 3 months postpartum. It's like, oh, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this, and it's like really since then, how has mom guilt evolved? In not a good way.
It's a lot. I think for me, social media is definitely like the biggest culprit here. For sure. So let's kick things off with the realistic expectations, unrealistic expectations.
I think what is such a crazy thing is just how the expectations put on us from society, but also then the expectations that we put upon ourselves, how that you know, can really manifest inside and like create such bad anxiety. So I think it's like, are you being realistic, and how do we know if we're being realistic? And that's such a hard thing.
I think it was a real kick in the butt for me when like I forget who I went to like a workshop for one of my Wire events years ago, and there was the conversation around like it's kind of bullshit, like the work-life balance and everything, and you can give everything 100% because quite honestly, you can't give everything 100%. There's give and take with everything. And I think coming to that realization has helped me find sanity in it all.
Did we talk about the glass balls?
You did in the first episode, but let's repeat that.
So just to touch upon that, I heard it when Sailor was really young, and I like have written it down many places. I have to bring myself back to this. So basically it's like there's a million balls, right? So like what you do for work, your family that aren't your children, obviously being a parent, but also being a wife, being a friend, being a sister, being a child. Like obviously all these things we're trying to keep in the air and we're trying to keep afloat, and we're here, and we're doing it all. And it's like you can't possibly keep all the balls in the air, right? So it's like some balls are going to drop, and you just need to make sure that it's not the glass balls. What's the glass balls for you? Mine are obviously my children, my husband, like a little, that sort of like sense of peace that you get with all of them. Like those are my glass balls, obviously my health, my parents' health, like those things too, obviously. It's like that week, like this week alone, I have a dance competition this weekend. I'm unwell. Like I am truly unwell. And there's a lot more balls that are breaking, but this week a glass ball is dance. And I know that like I owe my students and my daughter now, who's about to compete for the first time, they deserve to be glass balls this week. So it's like, okay, then something else might fall to the wayside, and you have to be able to just kind of like ebb and flow and know that you're not less of a mom, less of a person. Like I won't see my son for 3 days, and that's a really hard thing for me, but he's with his dad and they're doing a special thing, just the two of them, and it's freaking fun for them.
And I love that. And they're not going to remember this one weekend where you are not there.
No, you know what he's going to remember? That he's going to Blippi live with his dad, just the two of them. First of all, I don't
So
think I went anywhere solo with my dad. Like,
that's sweet.
I think it's just such a fun, special memory. But then on the other hand, it's like I get to sleep in a hotel with my daughter, and we get to go do this like shared love. So obviously there's a lot of dividing and conquer. But now when you divide and conquer, she has the two girls too, and they're both, your girls are into sports. Do you divide and conquer, and do you feel guilt if you're with like Cameron or vice versa, and you're missing the other one's practice, are you ever feeling like guilty on that, or you're like, no, this is my part in the day and this is
Yeah.
my husband's part in the day?
Yeah. You know what? We are like the master planners of trying not to overlap activities.
Okay, okay.
I think during school week,
Yeah,
if it's convenient and I can do a double drop and like let
yeah,
them do the activities, it works. But I would say like anytime we're going to sports, we're typically on the weekends going together or I'm going.
yeah,
I think that is important for us to touch on. And, as moms, sometimes we are that default
yeah,
parent and like, our husbands have, full-time
yeah,
jobs and they are not, some of them aren't working from home. And that, ends up being for a very, tricky schedule and trying to balance or not balance at
yeah, yeah,
all. And again, prioritize the glass balls. And I think going back to that and you saying like, hey, this week my glass ball is dance, I think that also is important to discuss that like every week balance looks different, right?
yeah.
Every
Louder,
week,
louder.
every week.
And you know what it is? It's like I've recently learned, because I don't, a lot of my like oldest friends, their kids are babies. One thing that's really worked with us and is like being able to communicate, these are the glass balls this week. And
Yeah,
like if PvP isn't like a glass ball that week, like it's a
it's
glass ball
okay.
for you, or
Yes.
like it ebbs and flows like that. And so I think like finding support through your friends and family, but also you have to be able to verbalize it. I've learned a lot from you that just saying like, I'm overwhelmed because
Yeah.
of this, this, and this. And it's like, okay, well, how can I help you by picking up this ball? Or how can I help you by like one time I had the stomach bug, so you handled like canceling our guests, and I just was like, I can't do it. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it doesn't work. And I
Yeah.
think for me, like communicating how I'm feeling, this is like with my husband too. He doesn't know I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So when he comes home and I'm like,
Yeah.
he doesn't know. So it's like I have to communicate that. Last night, I'm like, Miles, shit in the tub 10 minutes before you got home. So I'm not okay. I'm not
Poop gate.
okay. Poop gate. And you guys know I'm in the middle of potty training. So that set me off. I'm like, the potty is right there. The potty is right there.
It's really hard.
So I think it's like communicating to your husband too. But something that you said yesterday when we were kind of like debriefing on this was always being available. That nearly killed me.
Yeah, as
That
moms
nearly killed me.
and like the expectation that we are always
Yeah.
available amidst all of the
Yes.
other millions and trillions of
Yes.
things that we have on our to-do
Right.
list, which is crazy.
It's
So
crazy.
it's like setting boundaries, setting time for
Yeah.
you.
So what's
And
that look like when you
right.
set time for you? How are you doing that in a way that makes you feel not guilty, but more like you're filling your cup
Yeah.
so that you can fill their cup?
Right. I know for me personally, and I've talked about this before, I know for me personally, taking about 30 minutes to an hour of movement will literally set my mind straight and like chemically balance
Yeah.
my brain and where it needs to be no matter what point in the day I do it. But I do try and make a point to do it especially during the week when my kids aren't home, because I
Yeah.
know that that is me
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I can get it done before lunch, even better, because then I'm not scrambling at the end of the day. But I am a big to-do list planner type of person who likes to write out what the day looks like
Okay.
when I can really get into it. Like some days there's nothing on my paper,
Yeah.
but some days like that day is like scribbled in. And if it's not, like if I'm not following it to a T, great. But if
Yeah.
I know that like I am carving out 30 minutes to an hour somewhere in my day, here's an ideal time,
Yeah.
that almost like makes me feel at ease.
So because it makes you feel at ease, you can feel like you can release that guilt because you
Yes.
know that you get to pick up the girls and be
Yes.
a better parent, but also how you show up for Wire or all the other jobs that you
Yes.
do is, more efficient and
Yes.
just
However, then on the other end of the
yeah.
spectrum, on weekends, like again, movement is so important to me. You don't have to move
Yeah.
every day, but like something I enjoy, whether it be something very low key as like a 10-minute,
Yeah,
movement in my
yeah.
basement, or, my full leg day on a Saturday or whatever. On the weekends, my kids are home and they see me doing it
Yeah.
and they see me taking care of myself and prioritizing me.
Mhm.
And like, as hard as that is sometimes to be like, no, this is me time, they are always
Yeah.
watching and I know that they see that like I prioritize my health, and like it's really cool that like they know mommy's working out. This
Yeah.
is mommy time. They do come down there. You guys know they're always there.
Yeah.
They're always watching. But
So not every exercise, hour that you get or half hour is like, "Ooh, I'm turning my brain off." It's like
yes.
sometimes the kids are freaking crawling
Yeah.
on you. And then when you do have that, 45 minutes where you're like in the studio, you don't have to feel guilty because you
Yes.
had the kids crawling on you yesterday at the
Exactly.
workout. So
Exactly.
one thing that me and my husband do that has released mom guilt entirely is like if I'm going to take 3 classes that week, I will do one on the weekends. He'll do like a YMCA weekend. Both our
Yeah.
husbands work out there on the weekends. And if like his is Saturday, because we have Saturday activities,
Yeah.
then I'll go on Sunday. But it's like verbalizing that days in advance. Like
Yeah.
this is
The
where this is
communication.
the class I'm taking this
Yeah.
weekend. This is what you're doing this weekend. Like once golf season comes,
Yeah.
I'm like, we all need to be on the same page because obviously sometimes if I just like spring up on a workout and I'm like, I'm gonna go in 5
Yeah.
minutes, the kids are crying.
It
Now
doesn't
I'm
work.
guilty. Now
Yeah.
I'm there and now I'm crying at the studio because I
Yeah.
feel like shit.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
feel
it
that.
kind of comes back to just like
Communication.
saying it.
Yeah.
Saying
No,
how you're feeling.
communicating, like even if it's me telling my husband like 3 days before that Sunday I'm gonna take
Yes.
the
9, is it 9 or 9:15?
the
I
9
think it's
o'clock.
9, but it's like a 75-minute class
Yeah.
and we love it and we both try to go and a lot of the instructors go. Usually
Yeah.
Steph teaches it, but it, subs out quite frequently. We love the hour
Yeah.
and we both try to sneak that in
Yeah.
and tell our husbands days in
Yeah.
advance.
Because at the end of the day, getting our movement in and getting that little self-care and taking time for you allows us to show up better for our
Yeah.
kids. So remembering that when that guilt kind of like
Yeah.
is in the back of your head, and remembering no, the end goal and how I'm going to feel after is a million times better and outweighs that guilt that I might feel for 5 minutes. So
Period.
end of story.
Now I'm curious about how this mom guilt piece kind of comes into play with work and like I was a stay-at-home mom when I first had the kids for at least a year. I've like always taught dance and I've always taught fitness through those, but it might have been literally 1 hour a week, on the first whatever. When my kids hit between 12 and 18 months, the ambition inside me returned.
Yes.
And there is this part, of a mom that's like, I'm going to leave the home. Okay. I'm about to go enter the world again. But even saying this as a stay-at-home mom, like wanting the ambition to like do Pilates before pickup or take something on new, like it, do you ever feel guilty? Like even though it's your career, you're making money or you're trying to provide the family the same way that your husband is.
Mm-hmm.
What's the guilt like there?
Right. I was thinking about this before I went to bed last night.
Hey girl.
We got a
We're at
dog
Stacy's
here.
house, so we get a dog.
We got a chunky monkey dog. So if you hear her little feet pitter pattering, that's Mila.
Hey girl.
Hey girl. Or big girl.
Mascot.
I was thinking about this before bed, and it's an interesting perspective, and maybe I'm going a little off topic here, but flash back to 8 years ago, I hated my job. I thought about when I was going to become a mom and when I could quit my job and just become a full-time mom. Hated my job, and I think that also like fueled it.
Yeah.
But like that was my end goal, right?
It's crazy.
We talked about I couldn't get pregnant, hated my fucking job,
Yeah.
quit my job, started a new job that I absolutely love and feel so lucky to have found it. And now I'm like, no, I want to work. I love this. However, that doesn't go without saying that there are moments, especially when I have to be like in office or at an event, traveling where I'm like, oh my God, I'm missing the moments.
Yeah.
And like that stuff. Wait, I'm actually going to cry now. Woo! Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's okay if you do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I remember like the first time I was at I had a golf event and it was on Kinley's birthday. I forget it was her first or second birthday. And I was like, it's my daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
And I remember people like, it's okay. I'm like, but I'm really emotional.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's like you miss something and you're like, oh, that's really hard.
Yeah.
And I still struggle with that constantly. But again, it goes back to like giving everything 100%. So like my job is never going to have 100%. And like sometimes like
Yeah.
your home isn't going to have
Hate to say it,
100%.
but that's the truth
It's
sometimes.
really scary truth. So it's like, while I love being home with my kids, I also really have passion for my career and
Yeah.
love what I do. So it's the give and take. So like the fear of missing the moments is always still there.
Yeah.
But
And one thing on that is like people will always say your kids are so young, they're not going to remember. It's like
you're gonna remember.
we're
Yeah.
making our motherhood journey ourselves. Like so
Yes.
you pick exactly what you want to show up as
Yeah.
every single day. So that's what makes it hard. It's like today I'm showing up like not as their default parent for the first time or whatever it is, like dropping them off at a friend's house
Yeah.
instead of going to the play date for the first time. Like no
Right.
matter what stage it is, it just like makes us incredible moms, but
Yeah.
it also makes us extremely efficient. It's like go to
Yes.
work, get that shit done because
Right.
I got to go to pick up at
Yes,
2:45.
exactly. So then, I was saying you can't give it 100%, but when you are in work, focusing on that, and when you're at home, like
Yeah,
prioritizing that and being fully present.
yeah,
Like
and
when
that
I
means
close,
like putting the phone down,
yes, I'm
putting the
closing my
email away.
computer. I'm closing my computer. When my kids are there,
Yeah,
I mean, I got to remind myself this because I know I'm not
yeah,
always following those rules, but like that is my reminder to me. It was funny. Writing these notes was very therapeutic for me. It
yeah,
was
yeah.
almost
You
felt
said
like a
that. Yeah,
journaling moment. And I was like, wait, these are like really good reminders to myself to be kind to myself, but also like reminders
yeah,
like how to be a better parent and show up for my kids. So, anyways, closing my computer when like it's time with my kids,
yeah,
like they've been in school all day. Our hours
yeah,
possibly between 3 and 7 p.m. are like us time. And maybe that means for me, and this is kind of crazy, maybe that means for me, I have to open my computer after they go to bed
yeah.
just to also get peace of mind and not have
Hmm.
that like anxiety like
Yeah,
floating around being like, you got to get this done. You didn't get this done.
yeah.
You can't always get everything done. Also, reminder, you can't always do it all.
Can't
There's always tomorrow. All right. You can send that
totally.
email tomorrow. Set some boundaries.
Totally. And like with Pilates Before Pickup, one thing that I have learned helps me a lot is like batch. That word is very social media, I feel like, but like batch working or like, so what that looks like for me is if I'm going to post pictures, videos, content on what you're seeing on Pilates Before Pickup or filming or whatever, it's like I might take the video at noon when I'm in the class. But I might not edit until like 8 p.m. I might edit 3 things that you will see over the course of a week and then put it away.
Right.
But like I'm not in real time editing and
Yeah.
posting 99% of the
Yeah.
time. It's too hard.
Yeah. You have your windows where you can dedicate to that. And I feel like that's kind
Yeah.
of similar to like, although my, work from home life
Yeah.
is different than like your pickup and
Yeah. Yeah.
your family time. I think that's kind of similar. Like
Yeah.
I do it when they are not here.
Yeah.
And I might do it again after
Hmm.
dinner or after everyone goes to bed. And, that's
Yeah.
how we make it work.
I know my work hours since I teach dance to obviously the youth. The youth's in school till 3. So I work pretty much like 3:45 to 8. And so I miss bedtime. And
Yeah,
that is
that's
I'm
hard.
really struggling with
Yeah,
that right now. So I don't know how much longer I can go missing like 3
I
bedtimes a
know that's
week.
hard.
But stay tuned,
Yeah.
like we'll see how that evolves.
I have lots of work events and they're
Yeah.
usually in the evenings. And like whenever I'm at an event and I'm like, oh my God, it's getting close to 7 p.m. I was like, I should go home. But I'm like, my
I
husband
know.
can take care
Thank
of
God. And then when
bedtime.
I'm doing the bedtime
Yeah.
20 nights in a row, and I'm
Yeah.
like, where the is my husband? And it's like, oh, like I'm the one that's like crying at 7
Yeah,
p.m. over
I
like
know.
missing bedtime.
Cause
But you know how it is.
we do love being
Oh
moms,
my
and that's
God.
like the
It's the
beautiful
best thing
thing.
ever. But
It's the best thing
it's
ever.
not the only thing ever.
Yes. And I think that's what's really cool. Like we have
Yeah,
now identities now outside of motherhood.
that's right.
And it
And
is evolving.
if you're in like that first year to 2 years postpartum, I've told mostly all of my friends this that I feel like at one, people think that it's like all back. And maybe that is when you go back to work 6 months or whatever. I don't know what everyone's situation looks like, but I swear with both kids, when they turned 2, I
She's
arose from the dead and was like, oh no, bitch. Like, I need my own career. I need my own path. I need my own journey. So, like, if you're not there yet and the ambition's not there in the way that it showed up before kids, like, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Just like enjoy the little
Yeah.
moments, enjoy the snuggles. No one's talking back to you.
Yeah.
Love on it. And then,
Yeah.
like, one day you will lift your head and you will be you again and
Yeah.
in a better version.
But I also want to say, ain't nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom. I think
No,
that is
no, no,
the
no, no, no.
hardest job in the world. So it's like,
It is.
there is no wrong journey here, but if there's something inside of you
Yes.
that is like itching for
Yeah.
that,
Even
like,
if it's not work, if it's putting a book club together
right.
or making sourdough,
Yes.
it's just like
Yes.
all of a sudden you
Doing
couldn't take
something.
on more.
Yeah.
And now you're like, wait, I can take on more
Yeah.
again. And it's just that identity of like doing something and completing the
Yeah.
task that you don't do for 2 years besides like a
Exactly.
diaper change or like a
Yes.
nap.
Yes.
So it's coming. It's
Yes.
coming.
You guys, we're so tech
Oh
savvy.
my
We
God.
just got a new tripod with a little like camera starter.
On the topic of mom guilt, kind of shifting gears to guilt in general after having kids, and even just like those first 2 years, but whenever, what we're not doing and what we're not feeling
Yes.
is guilt about not exercising or not eating something specific or just any general guilt about what we're doing here. We can't feel that because that's just negative self-talk. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, let's be realistic. Let me make sure this thing's on. Yeah, it's on.
I think it's also like the constant reminder about that because like,
Bounce back.
yeah, no, and it's still a constant reminder,
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah,
that
yeah,
that's okay.
yeah.
Like if today I didn't do like
Mhm.
the workout I planned, that's
Right.
also okay.
You're right. There's like this little version of mom guilt where it's like, okay, so I'm going to skip my workout, like say a kid's sick or something and you
Yeah.
missed your scheduled class.
Yes.
What you're not going to do is feel guilty about choosing them.
Yes.
Even if that means you don't move at all that day.
Yes.
And that's something that really
That's like the opposite side of the spectrum.
opposite side of the spectrum. But
Yeah.
I definitely still struggle with this. And I feel like this just comes back to pre-kids me.
Yeah.
So if you were someone like that pre-kids, how do we switch the mindset now post-kids?
Right. Yeah. Cause I mean, like, talking about like body image and all that. And like, it used to be like work out hard every
Yeah.
day. And like, that was kind of like the motto for me, like
Oh, yeah.
back college, 20s, whatever. But now it's like, yes, I do like to prioritize my movement, but like your family first and whatnot. But in addition to that, it's like, what does working out in your 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, postpartum, what does that look like? And what are we trying to accomplish with it? Obviously, like, after you have kids, you're like, I want to like lose some baby weight and whatnot. And like, that's
You
okay.
miss
like,
your clothes.
whatever.
Like I'm the
I get
first to
it.
say I
Yeah.
remember missing my clothes so much. It wasn't even about
Yes.
like a number. It was like I want to wear my freaking pants.
Yeah, like that's okay. But I do think there's a shift that took me a long time to accept.
I
And
will
it's
never
like,
look the same.
we'll never look,
We
and
will
that's okay.
never look the same.
But I talk a lot about like being stronger rather than just shrinking.
Yes.
Like that's a really crazy shift that like, again, still learning
I
and
like
still,
that strength versus shrinking.
yeah.
And I think about my parents and I'm like, I see that. I
Yeah.
see that. I think too, it's like we've both had such injury
Mm.
as moms. We've both had excruciating back pain as moms.
Yeah.
And the only thing that has alleviated that and allowed me to now lift my second kid, my 2-year-old, is the exercise. It's
Right.
strengthening my core, but it's also like strengthening my legs, making
Yeah.
sure like when I go to pick him up, I'm bending from the knees.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I think there's like such a huge awareness that you have when you exercise that translates directly to parenthood. And it's like when
Yes.
you're a mom of young kids, it's physical. Like you're at the playground, you're at this sport. And although you're not climbing the playground structures, you literally are climbing them because
Yes.
like you're doing this, you're doing that. And I think about like if I didn't have the strength or whatever, the balance that I do in my body, I
Yeah.
always think about like how I'll be in the moment. I'm
Yeah.
like, ooh, I could injure myself
Yeah.
right here if I didn't have that strong ass core
Yeah.
I got.
Yes.
So it's kind of like for that everyday life. Like,
Yeah. So it's like put the vanity aside and think more
Yeah.
about that vitality
honestly,
and that
put the mirror
longevity.
down. If you're just
Yeah.
coming back, put the mirror away and
Yeah.
just put the baby on the floor and be like
Yeah.
next to them doing a little clam.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be a whole
Yeah.
thing. I still get in my head where I'm like, it's a whole thing. And it's like, well, no, it doesn't. Even if it's just 2 exercises. Like
Right.
you just strengthened your hips and guess what? Your hips just went
Yeah.
through it. So they need that.
Yeah. So let's not feel guilty. We are not feeling guilty
not feeling
about
guilty.
not being, back to our pre-baby selves.
We're
We
not.
are not doing that. We're not.
We're not.
Okay.
I'll come for you.
Yeah. And then also, talking about like from a food perspective and like fueling, not restricting. you know?
Yeah, I think you've shared a picture, and then I shared one on the snow day. All four of our kids love exercise now.
Yes, it's so
And
cute.
I think it just goes back to like they see both of you guys and
Yeah.
both me and my husband and my in-laws, like we all exercise right in front of those
Yes.
kids. And I feel like all you're doing is showing them that movement is medicine, and
Yes.
you have to keep moving. And
Hmm.
it's whatever's important to you. To me, if I'm scheduling in that into my day, like they're going to learn how to schedule important things into their
Yes.
day and how to
Yes.
prioritize themselves.
Yeah. We're leading by really great examples, and
We're
I'm like
trying.
super freaking proud, and like
Yeah,
sometimes like it might seem or feel selfish, but it's not. Like
it's not.
that's how we show up better for our kids. And they look at it and they like pick up the tiny weights and they're like, I'm strong like
Yeah,
mommy. And that is like literally the
literally the
sweetest thing ever.
sweetest, best thing ever.
And you know what's even funnier is they think daddy works at the gym. Daddy doesn't
Meanwhile,
work
you're
at
like,
the
mommy
gym.
literally works there. Can mommy go?
Mommy actually does that for work.
Mommy does that.
But it's funny. Like
Yeah,
they
that is
know
funny.
that we are passionate about that and it's important to us, and they call mommy and daddy strong, and I think that is like the
I
coolest
love
thing.
that.
So
I love that. And like they're gonna be little 16-year-olds like exercising, and I
yeah.
think that's so cool.
Yeah.
So keep doing it right in
Yeah.
front of them. Right
Health,
in front of them.
healthy relationships with
Yeah.
it all though. And I think like always reminding ourselves that, the
Yeah.
balance, which looks different every
Right.
week, is
Yeah.
so important.
Yeah.
So
The vanity piece I will keep
yeah.
working on.
Yes.
We all will.
Yeah. So it's like a lot of reframing our thoughts
Yeah.
around, mom guilt and what, how to, not let that creep
Right.
in. So it's like
So if
letting
that means
go.
like planning an intentional
Yes.
time to exercise days in advance with your partner,
Mm-hmm.
how are you like getting if you're looking at your 7 day and you want to put that on your partner's desk so
Mm-hmm.
that they're aware, everyone's aware. Sometimes I'll even tell the kids like the day before, like mommy's gonna wake up and she'll be at her exercise, but then when I come home, we can snuggle in mommy's bed or something like that.
Yes.
And so that they're aware that if everyone's on the same page, you can't feel guilty because I
Nope.
gave everyone advance notice and this is
Yes.
what mommy's
Yeah.
doing. So
Yes.
mommy's out of here.
Yes. Making those intentional decisions and carving it out and,
Being
communicating,
flexible. Every
being
day looks
flexible.
different.
Yeah. Letting go of that perfection. And yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's just the way that we can reframe this and, be better parents to our
Communicating
kids.
about the balls.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So as we close this conversation out, I want to ask you, what
Yeah.
is one thing that you are working on, as your journey as a mother, and again, letting go of the mom guilt? What is something that you are currently working on, would you say?
That's such a good question. I think one thing that I'm working on is honestly, I know this is kind of like such a cringe thing to say, but like setting boundaries.
Good.
And it's not just as a mom, like if I need to go out with the girlfriends, whatever, that's a boundary I'm setting as a mom, but more about every other thing that is in parenthood.
Hmm.
So, like, it in the past is incredibly hard for me when someone's like, hey, can you sub or like, can you come do this or do that? Or in both my jobs. Can you take my shift this or that? And it's been very hard for me to say no because I'm like an empathetic person. I think about it from their perspective. But what I've realized is that, like, I have emptied my cup, completely drained myself so much. Since I've had Miles like the past 2 years, and it always, my autoimmune kicks in. I'm like not taking care of myself. So at the end of the day, it's like I have to start saying no,
Yeah.
saying no. I'm literally working on saying no socially, saying no, to taking on new things, new friendships, new clubs, new sports, new
Hmm.
whatever. Like I know that my plate is full. So even though I might really want to do something, it's like, okay, well then something else has to come off the table because I'm barely
Yeah.
doing it all
That's
as it
really
stands
great.
right now. So I'm not like perfect. I'm still working, but that is kind of like my 2026 goals as like a mom.
That's
What's
good.
yours?
Mine's gonna sound like a little
Okay.
superficial, and maybe that's not the right word, but like I actually started it today. And shout out Sam Nelson for giving me this encouragement. We love you,
The best.
the best hype girl, lover.
Totally.
Is waking up earlier and like give myself an hour in the morning
Yeah.
without my kids, just to like not waking up feeling so like
Panic.
ah.
So right now the kids wake you up.
We wake up around the same time.
Okay,
Like,
got it.
and I was like, we were talking the other day about like maybe it's not me working out in the morning,
Yeah.
But maybe it's like waking up an hour earlier just to
Yes.
set the tone and positive tone
Yes.
and release the
Yes.
anxiety, because I'm going to
I
have
did that.
my coffee. I'm going to
Yep.
have a little
I
solo
shifted
time.
to that in
I need
2025,
to do
and
it.
now I just wake up at 6, and like some mornings the kids are up at 6:20, so
Yeah.
it's not even that much time. But like I brush my teeth
Yes.
by myself. I've changed my clothes by myself,
Mm.
and then I'm downstairs, honestly, reading my Kindle
Yeah.
and having hot
Yeah.
coffee. And then at that point, you feel like not a monster.
Yeah.
You're like, good morning, baby.
Yeah.
Instead of like,
I know.
like, what are you doing at my
Yeah.
bedside?
Brush
Is
your
it time to wake
teeth.
up? Is it school time? I'm
Yeah.
hungry. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm sweating.
Sweating.
Yeah.
Always.
That's a good one. If you're not doing that, even if it's like 20 minutes, try
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You might.
So my goal, I set my
tell
alarm
us.
for 6:00 this morning.
Okay. I'm
I hit-
texting you tomorrow.
I
At
did
6
hit
now.
snooze. I hit snooze, but I only hit snooze once. So I got up my ass up by like 6:15.
But wait, at 6:15, was it light out?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I know. That's
crazy.
also cool.
It's so good.
But it wasn't for movement. It was like literally just to like have my coffee, to wake up with like, not all that anxiety, have my hot cup of coffee, get myself dressed, start making lunches, be a human, open my computer, get a little bit done. And it was 10 out of 10. And I was like, I wish I woke up about 15 minutes earlier and got that full hour. And because you can get a lot done. Again, doesn't have to be movement. Yeah, it doesn't have to be movement. But like, again, set yourself up for a successful day that way.
This is not a fact, but I have heard that it takes 21 days to make a habit. So I think you need to do that 21 days.
I can do it. I can do it. I think the expectation that I was like going to get my workouts in at that time was really
I don't
intense
like
for me.
exercising.
I don't
that
either.
Hour. I would prefer to putz and
But I there are certain days where I like actually, if I want movement in, that's the hour I have to do it. And I gotta like shift that mindset and be like, sometimes like, woman up and make it happen if I really want to get some movement in.
You know what bugs me is that my husband gets up at 5:45 to work out upstairs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to work out with him. Like, imagine me on the reformer and he's doing like a Peloton strength workout. No, I need like a minute by myself in the morning. I'm not like a loving person when I wake up. I'm like, I need a minute.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't work out with him by my side either.
It's all good. It's all good. All right. Well, any other last takeaways? Do we have any encouragement for our listeners? Permissions that we give ourselves this week?
I don't know. I just feel like we're not coming at you from a place of perfection. These are literally things that we're working on or that we are constantly reminding ourselves.
Yeah.
If there's like one thing that you took from this episode, I encourage you to write it down. We both have planners where we write down little notes to ourselves, but like Sam Nelson, she writes it in her notes app. And it was just like, I remember she read it to me once. It was just like family first. It was something like so simple.
Yeah.
But when you read something like that every single day, that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's what happened. So write it down, marinate on it, keep looking back to it. When you think you're perfect at it, circle back to it, write about it, and keep going.
Yes.
Do more.
Keep going. You're doing great, sweetie.
You're doing great. You're doing great,
You're
sweetie.
doing great.
Amazing.
All right. So that's all we got for our many layers of mom guilt. We hope you like it.
I want to hear from you. I want to hear like what we didn't get. I mean, mom guilt is so layered. So we want to hear like from the each and every perspective.
Yes.
Comment below.
Next episode, we can't wait to bring on our next guest. So stay tuned.
You know her and you love her.
You know her and you love her. We can't wait. So we'll catch you next time.